Welcome, data people. We are Zuma. My name is Matt, and this is the Data for Good podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Zuma. Zuma is a dedicated recruitment company focusing on data positions across Berlin. The Data for Good podcast is for the world of data science, analytics, and engineering, giving you a platform to hear the thoughts and opinions from data leaders in Berlin and beyond. Today, we are joined by Sebastian Wieczorek, VP of AI Technology at SAP. A lot of letters there. Sebastian, welcome. How are you?
Thanks, I'm fine. Happy to be here.
Great to have you on. So for those who aren't aware who you are, can you give us a quick introduction?
Yeah, so I'm working for SAP for more than 15 years now in various roles, in research, in innovation management, startup engagement, and now with the AI units, I'm leading the platform team there. And I'm also the global lead of AI ethics at SAP.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. You'll have a lot of insights. And today we are going to talk about AI and business AI in particular. So for those who don't know and are maybe just wanting to listen about business AI in general, how would you summarize it in a couple of sentences?
Yeah, from my perspective, I think when you look at it, it's basically there's not a different AI, right? So it's the AI in the business context. But what it means is that what we see in the consumer context is also used in order to make companies either more efficient or to increase their capabilities in their products. So there are multiple angles to which you can look at. You can improve your products integrating AI. You can integrate AI into your business processes, like your hiring process, your logistics process, your resource planning processes, and you can, of course, also use AI for your interaction with your customers. So all the communication aspects and channels of that. You can use AI in your analytics work, looking into how your company is doing to oversee your processes and so on and so forth. These are angles. And I think what makes business AI special is that it's for AI in the consumer space, you have one model that runs a task for the whole population usually. When you talk about business AI, the common concept is that you have AI algorithms tailored for each client company, trained on their data in specifically to optimize a process that or an industry specific solution or a certain aspect of interaction for a specific client. So the specialization and the retraining and tailoring towards individual companies, individual markets, individual processes. This is what makes business AI specific and special.
When most people think of AI, they think small, agile, innovative companies that are moving fast, but it's going to be using enterprise as well. And so what's the difference in thinking and the speed of adoption when you talk small startups where most people think AI is thriving versus enterprise?
Yeah, so business AI is not a platform play. It's more a play of embedding AI into your products, and so that your customers are getting the most benefit out of it. So when we look at it from an SAP lens, what is SAP doing? For example, it's providing software to run companies. So you could think of it like an operating system of companies. So we're digitizing and in many cases automating single processes like hire to retire process in HR. So every single step from hiring a person, for example, creating a job posting, screening the candidates, till the hiring decision, then all the internal decisions of promotion, of providing benefits until retirement, then in this process. All of that is digitized in software solutions. That's what SAP is, for example, providing. And there are other areas like the financials of the companies, the logistics of the companies, the customer interactions that companies have. And when we talk about business AI, it's not so much providing technology so that customers are able to build AI on top of it, but it's basically infusing AI into these business processes. So, for example, matching invoices that a company is sending out to their clients with incoming payments that these clients are paying, so that from a financial standpoint, the company can track whether all the invoices that they have been sending are paid, or whether there are outstanding invoices that they have to take care of. You can use AI in order to do that in an automated fashion. That's the business AI case, and you wouldn't expect that a customer is now creating their own AI model in order to do this matching. This is in the context of business AI. What our clients are expecting is that we're doing that, and we're tailoring that to their needs, understanding how an invoice looks, what are line items, how they add up, how discounts are adding up to that, and how that then matches to, I don't know, multiple incoming payments from a customer for one invoice, or one payment from a customer that addresses multiple invoices in different currencies, at different agreements and discounts with the customer. That's basically what we're providing out of the box, and we're providing AI. Now, I gave you one example, but in many process steps along the overarching processes.
Are these requests from the clients that then you're adding, or is it just something that's naturally been added to your product offering to improve regardless?
I think it depends. I mean, mostly the requirements are coming from our customers. That's clear. But obviously, we're also looking into the processes that our customers are running, and that our software is basically defining, I would say, and see what kind of technological advancements allow us to improve efficiency in these processes. So I think it's both ways what we're doing. But in the end, of course, we're focusing on what makes sense for our customers. What are the areas where these improvements make sense, and where they deliver most impact.
Where would you say the clients are what areas of business are clients asking for AI to be introduced in most?
I don't think that so in the beginning, like 7 years, 8 years ago, when we had this first business AI hype, people were asking to include AI because they wanted to see AI regardless of what it is. And many people in the companies, they didn't have a good feeling of what it can actually do, so they wanted to see first proof points. But we reached a much higher level of maturity. And so, to be honest, customers don't care whether it's AI that you're using in order to make a process step more efficient, or if you're using magic or any other fancy technology that you can think of. It's just there are just requirements. Look, in this process, I'm repeatedly doing X, Y, Z. Why can it not be automated? And then we on our side, we see, okay, with AI, we can drive the level of automation or of efficiency or of convenience much more than without, and that's then an AI case. But we're not marketing every single thing that we're doing as an AI case. It's basically we're marketing the efficiency of our overall products and the deep integration into the processes that are running in different clients that we're serving.
Got you. So it sounds like at the beginning it was cool. People just wanted AI, whether it was valuable or not. And now it's not so much how things are getting done, as long as it's getting done. And it's maybe your kind of evaluation of whether AI is the best way to do that.
Yeah, I would agree, except for Gen AI. So
Yeah.
I think that when we call deep learning now the traditional AI or narrow AI, as some people call it, for that is true. And I think we see that there's more and more maturity around how to discuss that, to understand what can it do, how can it be utilized. And then the more people understand about it, the more they don't want to deal with it, but they want to say, okay, you have standard products, just integrate it into these standard products and leave me alone with it. I just want to use it. Like, for example, AI is in our mobile phones, where we take a picture and the autofocus is kicking in because it's understanding where is the face in the image, or in the same technology used to unlock my phone, right? So these are AI algorithms or speech to text things. Nobody when you're using it is caring about, is that AI or not. You want it to work. That's the only thing, right? And you think, okay, it's cool if I have a nice filter or that the autofocus is working. And that's the way people are looking at it. Now, for generative AI and like OpenAI's GPT models, that's different. And there we're in terms of hype, we're back at 7, 8 years ago. So again, everybody's saying, okay, you can do whatever you want with AI, but I want to buy something with Gen AI in it now. And I think that's where we also will see that there's going to be more maturity. People will understand better what it can be used for, where the efficiency gains are coming from, and then the discussion will be different. But at the moment, people want to get confidence and get experience with interacting with this kind of technology. So that's why they're asking for, can you integrate that, or can you provide that to me? And I think it's not necessarily a bad thing that this is happening. So it sounds like, yeah, people don't think about it; they just want to. But I think it's important for customers and for basically for everybody. I think not just in the business context, but for everybody to interact with these models and to get acquainted. Because when you look at it from let's say taking a step back, what do these capabilities mean? Not many people understand, or let's put it in a different way. Maybe some people understand what capabilities are emerging, what can you use it for, but I don't think that we as a technology community or research community have fully understand and full understanding yet of what all the capabilities are that these models hold in store for us. And at the same time, people who are interacting with these models on the application side, they also need to get an understanding of what they can be used for, what they're good for. And that's an individual task for everybody to get acquainted and to get this experience. There are papers suggesting that you can gain on many tasks that you're doing throughout the day. When you're in an office job, you can gain a bonus of let's say 30% efficiency. This is what various research papers are showing now. If that's true, what it means basically is that everybody who is dealing with computers or phones in their free time can also benefit to 30% efficiency increase. So basically, you can have 30% more spare time, or you can do 30% more in the time that you're using your phones, your tablets, your computers as well, and in the business as well too. And it means that when people are thinking about their own job efficiency, their own private efficiency, they have to think, do I ignore this topic, and then everybody else is having this efficiency I'm not gaining, or do I expose myself to these technologies and try it out? For example, to write mails, or to get a translation from one language into another, or to write a poem, or whatever you do in your spare time or into your work time. And I can only recommend everybody to do that. Like we're doing that at SAP as well, in order to understand, where does it help me? What are the things that I can do with this kind of technology, and where will it go? And then, of course, from a business AI perspective, what companies are doing is they're looking beyond, let's say, the textual or chat interaction with these systems for, let's say, basic text-based interaction or for entertainment purposes, but they're looking into cases where there's automation of computer-to-computer interaction or human-to-computer interaction or computer-to-human interaction. These are interaction patterns where basically the large language model starts to play an interim role in translating concept from one world to the other. And then when you look at it from a developer perspective, the interesting part is that you can use LLMs in order to have systems interacting with systems. That's something that when you as a private user are interacting with ChatGPT, for example, or with other or with Bart from Google or with Llama, you don't see that, and it's not that easy for non-technical roles to understand that. But that's basically from a business angle. Probably at least as interesting as the text-based interaction, and allows for a lot more use cases and a lot more efficiency gains. But again, there are a lot of use cases I'm sure we haven't discovered yet that are emerging right now, and and also the technology is continuing to improve. We've seen agent-based interactions, so planning tasks done by large language models. We see real-world interactions via tools or others call it plugins. We see grounding using embeddings. All of these techniques, they're emerging techniques that are getting more and more understood. I think that the fine-tuning of models to let's say bake more context into the models is the next step that we will see. Not many applications are using that at the moment, but it's something certainly people are working on right now, and all of that will increase the capabilities of the technology and will increase the way we're using technology in our business applications or embedded in applications. And then again, as a consumer, you won't care, is it a large language model or is it a regular deep learning model or is it a rule-based system that is providing this service? As a technology enthusiast, you will know, okay, this one is an LLM one, but it's irrelevant from an end user perspective. In the end, you want to have a system that interacts with you and provides the service that you're expecting.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. There's so many use cases that are not uncovered, like you say. What's SAP's stance on Gen AI?
We're investing a lot into Gen AI at the moment. We're partnering with a lot of different companies. There are some announcements already out, some announcements coming over the next months around partnerships. We're also looking into building our own large language models going forward for structured data. So what you see at the moment are LLMs that are large language models that are predominantly used for text-based interaction. You see image and video, but where I would say large language models are falling short at the moment, at least, is in interacting with structured data like table data. And this and for SAP, as I said, we're process-oriented companies. At the heart of it, we're storing data in databases in a consistent way, and this stored data is defining the status of a certain process. So processes are running as abstraction over the data that we're storing. So what we want to do is, of course, to have large language models that understand the semantics of the processes and understand the semantics of this structured data that we're storing in databases. And that's a direction from a vision perspective that SAP will look into as well. But of course, we're using the LLMs that are there at the moment, and other foundational models in the area of image and video as is to specify the use cases, or to realize the use cases that are already there, like for text summarization, for translation, for question answering. These are there are a lot of patterns that are emerging that already are benefiting our portfolio.
Yeah, the potential is incredible. What are the concerns? What are the challenges that we need to consider with this moving all so fast?
Yeah, I think there are two angles to talking about let's say about challenges that we're seeing, especially when we think about the ethical aspects of how to interact with the system. And I would say there are discussions about are the advances too fast that we're making? Where will it end up? Will we have some sort of general intelligence soon? I have to say that I'm very skeptical whether this can be achieved at the moment. I think it's a longer discussion why that is the case. But for me, I think, and for us as a company, it makes more sense to focus on what are the ethical challenges with the technology that is existing right now and that we're integrating right now. And here, SAP has been, I would say, a pioneer, at least in Europe, but I would say worldwide. We have started looking into the ethical aspects of using AI right when we started the integration of AI into applications. We have created a steering committee that is overseeing the ethics approach of the company. We have given ourselves guiding principles. We have installed an advisory panel consisting of external experts that are guiding us. We have created processes to ensure compliance with these guiding principles. We have created an AI ethics policy that defines concrete rules for how to integrate, how to interact with, how to market AI, how to partner with organizations that are offering AI in our ecosystem. And I think when you look at all these aspects, I think SAP is taking a lot of effort in order to work with AI in an ethically acceptable and we call it responsible and trustworthy way. And that's important in my opinion. It's important that people have transparency about the AI components that are part of the products, that they get explanations for what is happening, that they can trust the system in terms of systems not being not discriminating or not being biased. That there is that the risks are mitigated, that these systems are these systems inherently have, because they're not deterministic in the sense rule-based systems are deterministic. And I would say that especially when you look into the guiding principles that we are then putting, or as guardrails to that we're implementing in our policy, things like SAP being committed to human-centered AI, meaning that machines will not take decisions, automated decisions on humans, that we're obeying to all necessary safety regulations as well. I don't want to go into all the details now, but when you look at it, I think you see that SAP is taking that very serious. And I've talked about the policy a bit. When you realize that this AI ethics policy is applicable to every AI infused use case that we're providing at SAP, and that is binding for every single SAP employee worldwide, as it is signed by our board and our works councils worldwide. I think it's a huge commitment and visible commitment. And in order to make it possible for people to understand it, we are publishing everything that we're doing. So we publish the policy, we publish the guiding principles, we even publish who is on our advisory panel, who is on our internal steering board. So everything we try to open to be as trustworthy as possible and reliable as possible for our stakeholders and customers.
Yeah, amazing to hear. I think everyone, as soon as someone mentions AI, soon followed by ethics and how trustworthy is it. So the great lengths that you go into is incredible to see, and so important from such a influential company. I'm conscious of time, so just going to finish up with a final question. AI is continuing to transform business. Which applications for business are you most excited about or most interested to see how it evolves?
Yeah, I personally love to look into generative AI and the advanced features that I talked a bit about. And I think when you see how large language models are able to plan and to interact with other digitized systems via tools, I think that's a huge potential at the moment. There are certain technical limitations to that, but I think seeing how you can interact with a system via chat and get complex interactions with the system based on APIs that are exposed is giving you so much flexibility, so much more flexibility than any UI you can create for interacting with these backends. And I think that's from my perspective the part where I'm expecting the most interesting applications coming from. But I have to admit that there are some issues that need to be solved. Runtime issues like how long does it take? Some issues in robustness that we're seeing. But yeah, the potential is so great, and the results that are emerging are so exciting. So that's what I'm most interested in at the moment, and that's what's exciting me the most. Yeah.
So productivity and efficiency is where you're most excited, it sounds.
Yeah, it's a bit, you could say it's automating the development process, right? So instead of coming up, what are developers doing? They're creating a plan, and then they're hardening this plan or writing down this plan in code. And what you can do with an LLM is basically you generate this plan, and it's a throwaway plan. Basically, it's a one-off plan, and then you can execute that plan as if a developer has been developing it. And because of that, you can be much more fine-grained. So in software, you can only go up to a certain complexity in what users want to do. For example, if you're interacting with an HR system, you can in the UI you can give some filters of what you want to filter for. For example, you're interested in candidates, so you can say, okay, most people are interested in whether the candidate has a certain university degree or not. So you create a filter for this university degree. But if you have an agent, you don't care for what people want to filter on. You just let the agent interact with the backend, and then all of a sudden, as a user, I can say, please filter for all candidates that are born in Buenos Aires. And nobody will ever create a UI where you can have a filter like that, because if you would create all these filters on top, the UI would be so complex and the backend would be so complex. But for this agent, it's no problem, right? So it understands in natural language what the requirement is and creates an execution plan only for this one user, for this one demand, and is able to execute it. And that's so much more powerful than what we're able to do with UI-based interaction at the moment. That's that's so much. That's going to be a new paradigm of interaction of humans and computers. That's why it's exciting. It's not robust enough to ship it now in
No.
production, but this is coming, I'm sure.
It's going to be great fun for anyone who's curious and loves asking questions. The opportunity and possibilities will be endless.
Yeah, exactly. We will have so much more increased interaction potential between humans and computers, because the whole semantics of what the systems are capable of are then at our fingertips, or maybe at our tongue. you could say. And that's so much more than what we're able to interact with through UIs at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And what a time to be working within AI. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Thank you very, very much for your time and rich insights, Sebastian. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me.
Been great having you on. And to listeners, obviously, drop your questions and feedback. And don't forget to like and share so we can reach as many people as possible. But it is bye from us. Thanks once again, Sebastian.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao for now.